better than me, or you were saying that's not your thing? Oh, that's what you. I thought so.
Again, 2005 district spelling bee champ, not the brand, but
I can prove to you, I'm hands down better speller, and I can't spell that well.
I've seen some of your emails. I was worried about Charlie. You.
Charlie can't spell. No, he's a math guy.
I have not a doubt in my mind that I spell better than most people.
I wasn't asking that. I think brother to brother taking you down.
I mean, it's cute that
Not
you think
by
that.
a lot.
That's just,
I'll prove to you in just a minute why I'm a better speller. Are you ready for it?
yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the Closing Beat. Happy Thursday. How we doing out there? That is HOWWEDOIN out there. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Closing Beat. We talk about the stock market mostly here. That's STOCK, not just the C. And apparently we're going to have some kind of spelling bee championship here. We got to get the studio done first. Right? We have two things we're going to do. I claim that I can tell any candy what it is blindfolded. Just give it to me. And one of our clients actually sent in a bunch of candy, so we're going to do that. And then apparently Cody thinks he can spell better than me, 2005 district spelling bee champion over there. Yeah, don't forget it. Okay. Well, anyways, hey, welcome to Closing Beat. We're going to talk about stock market. You guys want to talk about the stock market? That's what I like talking about. Tonight, our Wine and Wealth, if you don't mind, it's going to be a recorded version. We're going to talk about having two retirements, how to plan for two retirements. Those of you that aren't clients, did you know most people are actually planning for two retirements? And I don't mean that to sound like, oh, it's something new. Most people actually nowadays are planning to retire early, do something part-time, have less income, solve for insurance and all kinds of other stuff. Then they'll have their main retirement, 60s, whatever they just, 65 or whatever they decide. So we're going to go through step by step how you actually plan for those two retirements, because now the variables get a little bit messy there. So that'll be that one. We'll use nest eggs to get all that ready for you when we see you there. The government shutdown. Right? Stock market doesn't care. Here's the S&P 500 on the screen here. We've got the potential for a government shutdown working its way here. It seems like it's heading that way as of now. A last-minute sort of deal would push things higher. How do you feel now about those early or monthly child tax credit payments, huh? Those would actually be in trouble. I believe a lot of them are already delayed anyways. So we'd have issues there. The media has essentially proven to you that Social Security will be there and will always be there. So, quick thing, right? Where maybe we could save this for no, we're going to do it now. So, Social Security you wouldn't lose your Social Security check if the government shuts down. That doesn't happen. Social Security itself is a standalone, over here kind of a thing. And the media made a great point today where they highlighted how, well, people will still be paying their payroll taxes, and like 70% of all Social Security comes from people paying their payroll taxes. So how is it there and that Social Security is going to be insolvent? It's not going to be. Like all this political talk about Social Security is not going to be there, it's running out of money. Every article you want to read today will talk about how that's actually not true, because they're trying to make people feel better. Don't worry, your Social Security payments are still going to come because people pay their payroll taxes, and that's how it's funded mostly. So something to keep in mind there instead of getting all fired up. That is how it goes. Anyways, like I said, the S&P 500 really couldn't care about government shutdown. Sort of riding the coattails of yesterday's rally back above the 50-day moving average. The S&P is duking it out for first place here with the NASDAQ still. If you look at the NASDAQ, they're both up about 19% year to date. The S&P is playing a little bit of a catch-up there. Now, in the S&P, over the last month, there we go. It is not the best performer. It's actually the Russell, which the Russell had the best performance today, had the best performance yesterday. It's one of those areas that people don't really look at because they're like, I've never heard of a lot of these stocks. But the Russell's waking up. That's something you want to keep track of. And it was a broad rally too. Small cap value, index, and small cap growth stocks all across the board there. Biggest gainers here today. So good to see that. I want to just take a look. If you're in the S&P, by the way, look at some of these stocks, like what were the leading stocks today? You're going to have energy again. It's the same thing as yesterday. Energy, waking up. Here's Marathon Oil. You got Hess in the mix as well. You got a lot of the downstream providers in there. Oops. You got Halliburton here, almost trying to get back above the 200-day. Where's my FANG? FANG looking good, 4% gain on the day. There's that excitement. If you own oil stocks, if you happen to be one who has a car that consumes refined oil or gasoline, well, that kind of sucks because we're back above $73 here in the price of oil. Looks like we're heading back towards those highs. Downside on the S&P today, it didn't matter much. You're going to find REITs, in particular, public storage, right, selling off. That's a welcome thing. Nobody's like, a lot of these REITs have been really, really overbought. In fact, if you look at just sector-wise there, where did it go? One of the more overbought sectors out of the group. So a welcome pullback in a lot of these names. If you've been looking for extra storage space or whatever it is in the REIT space for a pullback, you're getting it, right? So that's just a little friendly heads up that that's what you got going on there. If you look at the Dow, not to bounce around here, but the Dow is the only index that has not gotten back above its 50-day. So at least the other indices are attempting to make this happen. The Dow hasn't happened to make that happen yet. And that's because it's in last place year to date. It's in last place over the last 1 month. It's just the slower moving and weaker index overall, which is good news if you're playing Guess the Dow because, well, you got maybe a little bit of sloppy movement there and you got a chance to stay in the lead or win that thing, huh? What do we got, Cody?
We got a new leaderboard today, completely fresh. We got Glade, David, Christopher, Terry, and Bojan.
I think it's probably Bohan.
Oh, I said it the American.
Doesn't matter. You spelled jazz wrong at the top. See?
There's no way.
No.
That's an easy.
That's an easy one. All right. Well, hey, if you're playing Guess the Dow there, good luck to you. I'm glad we got a little bit of a bounce because we were looking pretty thin down there at the bottom of the list. There was nobody else much below where the market was just 2 days ago. So that's how that one's going there. All right, now let's prove that Cody can't spell. I'm going to do an overview of Carnival Cruise. You've heard of Carnival Cruise Lines, right? Officially the largest carnival or the largest cruise line out there. And if you look at them compared to the rest of them, we got market share of 46%. Royal Caribbean, which is important to note down here because we're going to talk about this, 25%. It's actually 24%. Norwegian Cruise Lines at 15%. Others being the sort of limited players like Disney, which it's really not their business mainly, but they do have cruise ships in there. And MSC Cruises, not as big in our area here, but maybe bigger where you're at or on the other coast or on the other side of the world maybe. So that's the current market share there. Now, the question is, do you buy Carnival here? Is it a good investment? I'm not talking about a trade. I'm talking about an investment here. And first thing you want to know, so we own, or have a very small position at the moment, but we own it in a different way. CUK is actually the ticker symbol that we own. Now, Carnival trades with two different ticker symbols, CCL and CUK. The only difference is, and there's really not much of a difference, a slight difference in price, and that's just because of the London stock market being a little cheaper at the moment. But the only real difference is that it's traded, CUK is actually traded over in London, and you're just able to participate through CUK in the United States because the ADR is on the New York Stock Exchange. If you were not from the United States, you could use this, or if you were in another country, you could use this. You could also use CCL, which is the more common ticker symbol that we refer to when I pull it up. So something to keep in mind there. Carnival Cruises, you've got Carnival Cruise, you've heard of that. Princess Cruise, Costa, unfortunately. Remember Costa, the Costa Concordia having that accident back a while ago? Holland America, and a couple other cruise lines, right? That's all under the Carnival Cruise Lines umbrella there. So something just to point out. I mean, you've seen it. Everybody's probably been on a Carnival cruise before. You've been on a cruise? You've never been on a cruise, right?
Nope.
Do you have any desire to, or it's just not your thing?
Oh, yeah.
Haven't gone. Okay. How old are you?
26.
Okay. Time to go, man. Because eventually you get seasick. Those little boats. You don't get seasick. Uh-huh. All right. Well, anyways, side topic there. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about Carnival Cruise. Just give you, of course, the quick update here. Revenue by country, here's how it breaks down. North America, obviously very important. You probably know that. 55% of North America, of revenues come from North America. Like I said, you probably know that because of the virus, and then Carnival Cruise was in the headlines and everything. Europe, 30%. Australia, which would be technically about zero at the moment because they're not really doing anything in Australia, is 13%. Normally, this is pre-COVID. And 2% comes elsewhere there. Now, they're currently operating in limited capacity. 42 to 45 ships out there are running. They actually just said today or overnight that they hope to be up to 50% capacity by the end of October. So that's good news there. If you're looking at a fundamental type overview of Carnival, bookings are up. Awesome, right? Bookings are up. And what I find interesting about it, you got bookings up over about 50% quarter over quarter. But how much have they spent on advertising? Have you seen a Carnival Cruise commercial? I think I've seen maybe one. They just started advertising again. So if you could get sales or deposits on those sales without doing much advertising, that's a pretty sweet gig right there, huh? That should be good news for them. They also happen to be have the highest profit margin. Now, to be fair, we had to go back before COVID because they don't have a profit margin at the moment. So we said, well, just normally, Carnival Cruise Lines has the best profit margin versus Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruises there. So most profitable there. What's the issue? I'm painting a pretty rosy picture here. Everything looks good. They're recovering, and everything happens to be looking better and better for them. Stock was even up 4.5% today. The issue really is debt, right? Just like your personal finances, right? You can relate debt to companies. It's not always a bad thing. Companies will take on debt, and they did take on a lot of debt through the virus. Doesn't mean that it's a bad company or they're bad people for not, taking less debt or even paying their debt off. Long-term debt for them currently stands at $26 billion. Add in the debt that they currently owe, you're at $30 billion. All right, we need more metrics to tell if that's a lot of money there. The problem that I have with Carnival and having that much debt is they're burning over $500 million a month. Not a quarter, a month. $500 million. So 2 months is $1 billion. 3 months, 4 months is $2 billion. You can see how that's a lot of money. They're burning through it. But do they have the cash? One thing, if you have debt over here and you're burning through $500 million, do you have enough cash? No, they don't. They have about $7 billion in cash, at least as of now. I think earnings are coming up, actually. So we'll find out how much cash they have on hand. But they don't have a lot of cash relative to their monthly cash burn. So we need to get these ships out there and doing their thing there. That's a problem. Also, total bookings. Yeah, I said they look good a minute ago, but they've also peaked, right? They're not trending lower, but they've peaked. In other words, people that wanted to go on a cruise, they've already put their deposit down. Deposits are at record highs for them. Refunds, record lows, so that's good news. But who else is now saying, I will plan for a cruise? We all rushed out there and did that. Because we did that and wanted to go book a cruise, my daughter included, she paid top dollar for it. Because if you're flooding their website with lots of people that want to go on cruises, it's like the airlines, prices go up. All right, all that to say, would you buy a Carnival Cruise here or invest in it? Personally, I have issues with their debt. And also, if you look at the stock, is it going higher? Is it any reason to believe it heads to all-time highs here? And just in case it takes a long time to get back to highs, am I going to get paid a dividend? Nope, they don't have a dividend. They're not actually paying a dividend, and now you know that they probably don't have the cash to reinstate that dividend anytime soon unless they go raise a little bit more money, sell some more bonds, or sell some shares, which in turn would temporarily hurt the stock price. So it's a tough, long, roundabout way to say it's a tough time to invest in Carnival in an aggressive way. I have no problems with picking up a little position, scaling into that sucker, just having a little fun there. No problems with that at all. Anyways, I just thought I'd try something different, give you everything I could remember about Carnival Cruise at the moment. They'll have their earnings coming out soon, and we'll cover more of that when we get there. Oh, and by the way, the reason, let me go back to that for a second. The joke there that I was playing on you, where was it? Did you change it? You changed it. You got me, man. You got me. You snuck in there and figured it out. Cody spelled carnival wrong on this one right here. Yeah, all right, you were a little quick. I can't be giving him hints, man. All right. Spelling Bee champ 2005. He was ahead of the game. Got to give him that one. That's it. All right, new highs, new lows for the day. What do we got? New low, Lamb West here. So if you're looking at Lamb West and down to new lows, I just liked it because it was a break down to new lows. It was sideways for a little bit, broke down, thought that was interesting. FedEx did hit new lows today, but if you sold the 220 puts like I did the other day, it's just up. You got a tiny, tiny little profit there. I think I've made like 40 cents so far on that one because it didn't do anything, not because it was correct. So far, the belief that this would bounce has been incorrect. The assumption or the right that I have to allow the stock to move sideways, that's actually been correct, but I'd prefer to see a little bit of a bounce and not come anywhere near to 220. Nonetheless, it made new lows today just by a little bit. Interpublic Group, there you go. You like that? Look at the uptrend here. Clean, consistent uptrend. What's odd about this right here? The stock is in an uptrend and it breaks out. What's the stock market doing? It pulled back and then it rallied. There's your relative strength, right? And we were talking the other day about stocks that pull back versus stocks that don't pull back at all while the market was falling. Strength. That's what you're looking for right there. Another breakout here was CarMax, a little bit more sloppy, but nonetheless, a breakout after a series of higher lows, so no problems there. Darden Restaurants, it's going to be earnings related there. Also breaking out it's not the best island or breakaway gap, as they say. But hey, it's a good one. You're in no man's land. You gapped up there, and it refused to pull back. So good news there. If you look at their earnings, they beat by 11 cents, and they were positive going forward, raised their guidance going forward. That was creepy. I just saw someone walking right over here. Yep. Oh, man. It's a haunted place. Also, Chipotle hit new highs as well. They finally cashed my check from the other day, my $19 right here, $19 thing. I'm not done with that. Next week, I'm going to go to Moe's, by the way, and I'm going to keep the receipt. I'm going to get the exact same thing. We're going to compare.
Some people just like slop. That's fine.
Slop? Yeah. Some people do like it. Hey, I'll take $11 slop over $19 goodness. Texas Instruments also breaking out to new highs. Semiconductors, right? All the actions there. AMAT hinting at a breakout as well. Look through the semiconductors today. If you, even AMD, you might find something that you like over there. And that was just a couple extra that I gave you because I happen to be looking around. Stocks in the news today. Target. That gained about 1/3%. Target's been pulling back here a little bit. They're going to hire 100,000 holiday, or what do they call them, seasonal workers. 100,000. That's less than they've hired before, but nonetheless, they're going to hire 100,000 seasonal workers. I applied one year when I was a kid to Target, and I got rejected. Haley applied, my daughter applied. They called her in. They're like, please come to work for us. Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever apply to Target? No? I hear they pay well.
I worked at Walmart. I was at Walmart.
Oh, you did work at Walmart. Yeah. Well, let's see what Walmart's doing. Yeah, Walmart's pulling back as well. All right, anyways. That was Target. Pfizer, booster shot thing there, huh? So Pfizer, FDA approves booster shots for Americans 65 and over for their COVID shot, if you care. Here, which is actually called Eargo, but everybody just says here if you're looking at the stock. Well, we may not be looking at the stock much longer because it lost 70% of its value here today because the SEC has stepped in there and the Department of Justice, and they're looking into a criminal probe into this one here. That's not good, man. That's not good. They changed their name a couple years back. Actually, it's probably been 6 or 7 years now. They changed their name, and at that time, the assumption was there's something fishy going on there. We'll see. That's the Department of Justice, not me. Accenture almost hitting new highs on the day. Earnings were basically as expected. They're buying back $3 billion in shares. Right, so more share buybacks, awesome, love it. Obviously, stock price is headed higher there. As an investor, I love it. So I'll say that. And KB Homes, the last one there, earnings come in a little bit weaker than expected there. Gets a couple downgrades, one upgrade and a handful of downgrades, I believe, for the day. The upgrade puts you at $60. They were already at $56. That was Wedbush. Already has a $56 target, which is off the chart. You see, what's going on? And then they went to $60. Good job. Good job. All right, we'll let the news or the stream catch up. I'll share some news, or I'll take your questions. A little foggy-headed lately. And then we'll take it from there. The government shutdown thing, one of the proposals in there is kind of frustrating. This is how they do this, by the way. This is why when they say, oh, you know, they're never going to tax the Roth IRA, they will at some point, but this is how they'll do it. President Biden campaigns not going to raise taxes on people over $400,000. whether you supported him or not, we kind of all knew that was not the truth, right? There's a new tax there's a proposal for a new tax on vaping, cigarettes, and cigars. It's going to raise $100 billion over 10 years. I think it was 9 or 10 years. And so President Biden says, by putting this in place, I'm still going to be able to honor my campaign promise of not taxing people that make under $400,000 a year. Not that you should smoke the cigarettes, and I don't know if the vaping is good or bad or whatever it is for you, but do people that make less than $400,000 not smoke? I don't know what's going on there, huh? Is that not a tax on those people? I think that's a tax. Come on, bud. Gotta fess up. Anyways, let's see what's going on here. What questions do you have? While I do that, I'll put this over here and get ready for the wine and wealth thingy there. What's a better deal right now for the long-term position, FedEx or UPS? Well, how do you not like the drop in FedEx? I don't know that means it's worth more. I just look at it as I'm somebody that likes a discount. FedEx is slightly discounted, but hasn't really fallen to the same level. Let me pull this up. There you go. So you have a pullback in FedEx. It's nice and calm. It's showing more strength, more poise, and sort of posture than FedEx is, which just went and fell apart. I'm just attracted to that. You know what I mean? I would be looking to start or increase a position there, whereas I can understand the argument for UPS. Like, look, it's holding up. It didn't respond to FedEx's collapse there. They're standing on their own and blah, blah, blah. So honestly, you could go either way on that one. Right now, you have relative strength versus relative weakness, and it's just a matter of what you're attracted to. Relative strength performs better in the long run. If I have to just put the stats out there, relative strength performs better in the long run. Relative weakness is tougher because you're picking on something that's falling. Who's to say you pick the exact bottom? Oftentimes, you don't actually pick the exact bottom. So it's a tough one. You think the tax on the cigarettes is a stretch? Well, where does it stop there? Can we not do it on alcohol? Could we not say, well, let's just put a slight tax on a transaction of selling a stock? Doesn't matter what account type it is. What if we just charge a nickel for every time there's a transaction to sell stock or buy a mutual fund or something? That's a tax on a Roth IRA. They will never actually come out and say, we're going to tax Roth IRAs. They don't have to. There's so many different ways around it. Not that the Roth IRA would be the focus, but yeah. You manage taxable brokerage accounts, not just retirement accounts? Absolutely. I would actually say 40% of our clients actually have brokerage accounts with us as well. Yep. George Carlin, man. Is he still alive? George Carlin, you think? I don't remember him being around. He's dead? Since 2008, George? Wow, I didn't know. 2008 he died, huh? Well, George Carlin. All right. George said something without cussing. I didn't know that. Wow. Poor guy. Second leg of the sell-off to start that. Yeah, you want to get that going? I can agree with that. Where is this here? Ta-da. Now, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so that's helpful for the markets to be lower, Tanger, right? Doing your thing there. He died years ago. I didn't know. Yeah. What about David Letterman? You don't see him anymore. He's alive still, right? He's a younger.
He's got a show on Netflix, right?
Oh, I don't know.
My Next Guest or something like that. I heard it's pretty good.
Oh. Okay, good. I always liked David. Yeah, I did like David Letterman. Nike or Under Armour? What's for what? I mean, personally, I have an Under Armour shirt that I just feel like $1 million in. I have one, and I got it for my birthday from, I believe, my mother, right? And she got it at TJ Maxx, left the tag on it. So cheapness runs in the family. I don't know what the question is, Nike or Under Armour. Nike's the stronger one. I think they're going to have some supply issues as well. Somebody said that the other day. There was some analyst there that finally put some numbers to it. So I think it's going to be an issue for them. Under Armour has a little bit more inventory and has for a while, which is usually seen as a bad thing. But come this holiday season, if Nike's struggling to get any inventory and we find that we can't go spend all that ridiculous amount of money on shoes and workout equipment and all that stuff, maybe Under Armour scoops a little bit of that up. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Conan O'Brien, and I never got into. I don't mind. I like that kind of humor. I never could keep track of what his time slot was or whatever. Yeah. Marks might be setting up taxable account. Oh, okay. Well, it's easy if you do decide to do that. I just create it inside your existing account, so you don't have to like log in everywhere. You would just see it in addition to your Roth. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, there's one for the Under Armour shirts, right? Those Under Armour shirts. I'm not a thick or tall guy or anything, but it just feels a little different. And I wear the same shirt all the time. Hey, is the Candlesticks class available for research members? There's 3 of them actually, and all 3 of them are in addition to other classes as well. So yeah, short answer is yes. Yeah. Who is Ivy? Did I say Ivy? By the way, did I say I was in the Marines or something? I didn't say, like, if I... Oh, okay, all right. Well, I didn't want to make that claim. I thought, did I say something that made... Somebody said fellow Marine. I said, well, I'm not taking credit for that. No, I was not strong enough to be a Marine. So let's make that clear. Those people are more men than I am. Ivy is Mama Jazz, actually. Yeah. 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 Yeah, there you go. We're going to have comedian talk here. Who's your favorite comedian, Cody?
Oh, that's a great question. Tom Segura?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a newer guy, but he's pretty
funny.
popular. I think they'll know who he is.
Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright's fantastic.
Stephen Wright, man.
Or Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, he's the younger version. Yeah, I'll give you that. I like Stephen Wright. I also liked, I don't know his name. I watched the All-Star Comedy Jam. I've just all the different years, and it's that one guy that's from... I'm not going to bother with it, but anyways, he was hilarious. I'll think of his name. Anyways, we're going to do the Wine and Well thing. I'll be posting that for the how to have 2 retirements. So I'm going to work on that, get some good video nest egg sort of set up for that so you can see how to do it. That way, if you want to model that, we can do it together, or you'll just know how to do it. So I'm going to get that ready for a Wine and Wealth class, and the rest of you, thanks for joining us here today. A little bit odd. I'm sorry I jumped around a little bit, but it's been one of those days. We will see you. Enjoy. Let's see what happens with the government. Keep it open, shut it down. Keep it open, shut it down. Probably be a lot better off if we just shut it down for a little bit, but keep paying everybody.